All right, welcome back to Raising Real Estate Standards. Excited today that we have a guest with us, a phenomenal individual, somebody that I've been following and leaning into for a while now. He may or may not know it, but that's the wild world of social media. People don't know when you're leaning into their content. And today we have Jeremy Collins with Level Up Consulting Group. Jeremy is the founder, creative director, and a coach with their organization, and comes to us with a massive amount of experience working with real estate agents, helping them take where they are now and leveling up their business, kind of right in line with what Raising Real Estate Standards which is basically getting better at what we do and putting a better product out there for our clients. So welcome, Jeremy.
Thanks, man. Thanks so much for having me. It is an honor and privilege to be here, man. My passion really is to figure out, when I wake up in the morning, what can we do to enhance real estate agents? What can we do to enhance brokerages? And I think that's really goes right in line with what you're talking about, man. I think that's what's going to get me excited about. It's going to get me up out of bed in the morning. And so thanks for having me, bud.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. So do me a favor, as before we got on here, we're in the little waiting room, which told you I don't like to read bios. I don't like to go into that stuff. Do me a favor, tell our audience, explain to our audience kind of how you got to where you are today. Most of us don't start exactly where we are. We had a path to get there. So tell us where you started, how you got here, and where you're planning on going in the short future.
Yeah, man. So a little bit of a long story. We'll try to make it short. Is my wife and I were full-time children's pastors, media directors at a local church for almost 11 years. And so, that's where we really got into passion of really helping people. And then when God took us out of that area into something new, I had a agent that reached out to me and said, Jeremy, I need help. I'm struggling with media. I'm struggling with marketing in general. And so I said, I think I can help you. So I ended up working for a local real estate brokerage for 2 to 3 years, helping like 50 to 60 agents really enhance and grow their businesses. And it got really fun. And so I ended up switching to a different brokerage, a Remax brokerage, for about almost 7 years. I worked as their technology and marketing director. And so I helped really enhance what that broker did, grow their businesses, grow their agents. And then about 4 years ago, I kind of stepped out on my own and we started the Level Up Consulting Group. And so now we currently serve 48 plus partner brokerages on a monthly basis, as well as over 2,200 real estate agents are inside of our membership. And so now every single week we do live trainings, we do education, we give out. Now we're building out a recruiting and retention platform for brokerages that's getting ready to release in a couple weeks. We also do all the social media marketing for brokerages and agents. And so, really our goal is to provide them some tools and resources to get them to the place they want to get to. And so that's my passion. That's what I wake up every day doing. And honestly, the direction Level Up is going is, we'll probably am serving probably the next 2 years, a little bit over 100 brokerages. That would be a consistent partnership we'll have with them. And then, our goal is to get to 5,000 or 6,000 agents. And honestly, if we can't be successful at helping them grow their businesses, then we're not in the right business. So, our goal is to just help. And so that's the direction we're going. We're building a coaching, a recruiting, a retention platform that's going to help agents. And that's where the direction we're going with it, bud.
Fantastic. That's awesome. So, let's dive into because basically for those that don't know, that's kind of how I got introduced to Jeremy is through some of his training and he puts out. Obviously, he has a membership for his consulting group that is phenomenal. But he also puts out some stuff that is out there for the public. That's how I got introduced to him. So, as a brokerage owner and as a coach and a trainer, kind of like you, but in a little bit different arena. talk to me about the struggle that I have. Let me back up for a second. The struggle that I have with a lot of my agents and people that I coach is we're dealing a lot with very productive agents that are
Okay.
doing 10 to 30 million dollars in production with an average price of 300, 350,000. So a lot of transactions, doing a lot of business, and the tech world is always kind of like it's a speed bump. It's a struggle. First of all, a lot of these people are we'll call them tech challenged, but
Oh yeah.
they're not bad, but they're just not tech gurus. But
Yep.
then also they're really focused on the service of their business, their clients, and things of that nature. So, without getting into the nuts and bolts of specific tech stacks,
Yeah.
walk to me how someone who is a productive, super productive agent who wants to engage in that world because they know their clients there, what do they do without having to get overwhelmed with having to go in and do everything?
Man, it's a great question. We start doing things a little differently. So I don't come into the conversation saying I know exactly what you need, right? Because we don't. Every agent is different. Every agent runs their business differently. They use different tech stacks. They use different tools to do what they're currently doing. And so what I usually do is come in and say, all right, let's look at what you're currently doing that's successful. And then I know exactly what the tools and resources are that are at our disposal. So I'll say, all right, let's take a baby step here and let's take one tool or one strategy and let's implement it into your current model, which is not destructive at all. It's more of a just a helper tool, right? So
Yeah.
let's say, for example, we have an AI tool that will transcribe currently what they're like a video they just shot or whatever, and then we can automate that. So for me, I'm saying, all right, let's make your life easier, right? Because time is money in terms of real estate agents. So the amount of time you put into something that really equals dollars. So I said, all right, what can we do to enhance what you're currently doing? And so that's really my whole strategy when I meet with agents one on one. I don't try to disrupt what they're doing. I try to enhance what they're doing. So I say, all right, don't get confused about this resource. Let me just show you how you can implement it, every week and barely spend maybe an extra 2 to 5 minutes on it. And what it will do is triple and double and quadruple your outcome of reaching more people, connecting with more people. Like really, I'll give you an example. We just met with a larger team down in Florida, and they've got about 6 agents. And so they were trying to figure out better ways to, they have like, I think it was like almost 15,000, 20,000 contacts in their database. And we're trying to figure out a way to stay in contact with them the most. So we set up an automation to reach out via text message to them every single, I think it was like 3 times a month, we reach out to them. And so we built a 12-month campaign to reach out to them for every 3 weeks, something goes to them. And within the first month of doing this, they already have 4 new clients picked up just from those text messages that they wouldn't have had time to do if they tried to do it on their own. And so I think that's what I think the best thing for agents to do is look, don't get overwhelmed with all this crazy tech stuff. Figure out one thing that would enhance their business and just try to figure out a way to implement that into their business. That's going to be the game changer to growing the business successfully without getting too stressed out about, oh man, there's so much stuff out there. I think that every business can be enhanced by one element, and don't get overwhelmed by it.
No doubt, no doubt. So, it's funny you mentioned that, and I want to delve into picking your brain on some high level tech stuff that people could think about just to enhance their business. But the the biggest stumbling block I get is people get scared. When we start talking about all of these, when you mention AI or you mention tech, the word tech stack in and of itself can be a scary word. And for those that don't know, tech stack could be as simple as your computer, your phone, and that's it. That's your tech stack, and that's fine. But realistically, it's getting over the hump of getting scared. And I think one of the things that Level Up Consulting has done, and again, this is not a sales pitch for Level Up Consulting. Yes, he is phenomenal. He does great stuff. However, I've sat down and had conversations. I have people literally come knock on my door and have you got a minute, Mark, conversations about, hey, I need help. I need this, I need that. And for a lot of people, they don't have a lot of options. For a lot of brokerages, they don't have the resources to lean in to help them, because when they come in and they start knocking on the door and they're like, hey, I need help with this. Call it social media. Let's just use the big wide word of social media. I need help with social media. I don't have time. I need to get in there. It needs to be part of my marketing, but I don't have time to sit there and do it every single solitary day, much less 4 or 5 times a day. And so the beauty of what Level Up has done is they're not just here to teach. They have a teaching and training component. For those that want to learn it, Jeremy is phenomenal at doing it. But talk to us about some of the things that you're actually taking and doing for folks, saying, hey, somebody raised their saying, hey, Jeremy, I need help with this. It's not just a training. It's, okay, let me show you how to do it, and let me show you what we can do to help you do it, and then you can just set it and forget it, or at least we'll build it out, and you can monitor it.
Yeah, I love it, man. I think, I get probably 20 to 40 direct messages a day from questions just like that. Jeremy, I'm struggling with Facebook. Give me some tips. Or, hey, I just started niche marketing for farms. Give me some ideas of what I can do to reach that audience. And honestly, I always reply back. I always have some kind of answer probably. And I think it's because I deal with so many agents across the board. And I honestly, the biggest struggle agents have is they get too overwhelmed, or they get too, I don't know if I can even do that. And honestly, agents fall into different categories. So the first category, which you mentioned, is they're scared. They don't know what to do. They know it sounds awesome, but they don't know what to do. The second boat is they want to do it. They have no idea how to do it. And then the third boat is I have no idea, nor do I even care, because my business is running and I don't even want to look at it. And so there's a lot of different people in different places. And so for me, I always say, all right, here, what can we do to help? Like for the social media example, like we built for the Level Up side, we built a company called the Social Autopilot recently. And so what that does is it posts 16 graphics and videos for that agent every month. Now, is that supposed to replace, their personal videos they should be doing? Is that going to replace the personal content they're doing? No. It's just trying to trick the algorithm to say, okay, let's get their content more views. And so we just want to be more the consistent element for their inconsistency. And so that's just one little thing that we're adding in. And I think that for agents, and everybody's do their business differently, for example, brokerages need to recruit. And I think that, what we're trying to do is say, we understand you wear 12 hats a day. You have to do a closing. You have to go put a sign in the yard. You have to do all this stuff as an agent. And plus, as a broker, you have to do so much more stuff. And so, we're just trying to figure out ways to get the job done, get the stuff you need to get done in a smaller amount of time, because we know the tech stacks can help do that. We know that, when you put one person in your CRM and there's no way you're going to remember to call them 2 weeks from now, the system will automatically call them and then call your cell phone. That's the kind of systems we like to set up to kind of just set it and forget it kind of deal. But one of the biggest factors, and I coach agents all the time on this, is you're not just a realtor, right? You're not. You are running a business. And so in order to run a successful business, you do have to have systems and processes set up. And as well as I do, many agents, maybe the majority of agents, don't have systems and processes.
100%.
Right? And so what can we do to help build those systems and processes to make it a little easier coming into it? Honestly, I get really excited when new agents come to business. I don't know, you guys protect new agents on your brokers, but when new agents come on, I get excited because I'm like, this is like fresh. They're not like stuck in their ways, or not. Most agents don't want to do anything new, and so these new agents coming into business, they're like, "Show me, give me anything you got." And just I had one agent just started 3 weeks ago. They're part of our membership, and we did a one-on-one. And I went through landing pages and squeeze pages with them, just what that is and how it can get you clients. And they went in fury. They created 5 or 6 squeeze pages, a couple of landing pages for those, and they sent them out in their social media plus via email. And in 2 weeks, they got 2 seller clients just off of those 2 pages. And it took literally 15 to 20 minutes to set those up. So I think my suggestion, and agents listening in this, is don't get over inundated with the process. It's really, you could take baby steps and make big strides in your business. Because the way technology is working now, guys, it is just so freaking easy to implement. And for us, it is. So call us, message us, shoot me a DM, and be like, I'm struggling with this stuff. And we're not going to say, hey, here's a pay link to pay us. I'm going to give you my best tips, because I believe that if I can help people for free, they're going to come back to me when they need help for other stuff. And so, that's just my heart, is to see agents grow their businesses. And I'm going to do everything I can. My team can do everything they can to really help that.
That's phenomenal.
I hope that helps.
You mentioned something there about new agents, and it's a fantastic thing to watch them come in fresh without any jaded conceptions of how the business is supposed to be done. That's something that it's always been mind-boggling to me when someone says, "Well, this is how it's supposed to be done." There's no supposed to be how it's supposed to be done written in stone. I mean, this business is so phenomenal. You literally can run your business 100,000 different ways and be successful.
Honestly, man, I was talking to a broker about this the other day. They're like, "All right, James, so you work with 40 some brokerages. What are they doing that's working?" And obviously, I've got some staples, right? You have to have certain things in place. But I also had to share with them, say, look, you're in New Jersey, and things do differently in New Jersey. People act differently in New Jersey, so we have to do things different. And we just got to figure out what that is that's going to work for you and your brokerage. And we ended up coming with, a couple drip campaigns that's going to work for them. We came up with some trainings that our agents would really kind of relate to. And I think that's the key, is saying no one's going to do business the same. And honestly, it gets very, I don't know about you, but I get very frustrated when I see coaches up on stage. I mean, I travel, I do conferences all the time, and I speak, and I hate sitting in the audience. I hear these speakers on the stage go, "If you do this, you're going to be successful." And I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, no, and let's just be honest. If it's not authentically you, it's not going to be. I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be successful. First and foremost, you're not going to consistently do things that's not in congruence with who you are as a person. I don't care if it's automated or not. You'll turn it off. If what you're putting out into the world doesn't authentically come across as you, the people that receive it will know it's not you, and will know that didn't even get created by you. But those are things that are super important. Being authentically yourself is probably the biggest necessary item when it comes to doing business.
I 100% agree. One of the technologies I implement with my members is, and I push it hard, is video emails. Every week I send out about 100 to 150 video emails on a consistent basis. And so it's a very small implementation. It takes less than probably 20 minutes to implement to your business. And the impact is so massive because of the authenticity that you bring. Because honestly, when was the last time you received a video email from somebody? That's one, right? Because you're going to stand out from all the other agents because you're doing something different. But two, you get to see my eyes. You get to see my passion for something. So, I hate when agents get in front of a video and they change who they are. And I'm like, whoa. I mean, I recorded a video with an agent the other day, helping them with a video project. And they just switched gears on me. Like in the middle, as soon as I hit the on switch to record, they were like somebody different. And I was like, I stopped 2 seconds in and I said, whoa, stop. People love you for who you are. People's going to fall in love with your accent. People's going to fall in love with, the way your hair looks. People's going to fall in love with, the way your mannerisms, where you say "and" like 20 times. That's okay. Let people fall in love with that, because we're in a relationship business. That's what real estate is. It's a relationship business. And so, how are you going to build a relationship on false pretenses of you're putting somebody else in front of you that's not you? And so, I always tell people, I tell agents all the time, relationships lead to conversations, conversations lead to contracts, contracts lead to closings, closings lead to more money in your bank. And that's really why we're doing business. And so I think it's just a system. And I think you hit the nail on the head with authenticity is the key. Agents need to get them out of their little comfort zone a little bit sometimes and be like, all right, I'm going to be who I am, and we're going to see how this goes.
Well, the cool thing that most people, when you use words like processes and automation and AI or whatever, people, a lot of old school folks, or not even old school folks, people that just don't
Yeah.
understand it, think that that's going to strip your authenticity out of it. And it's not. It really isn't. You're able to develop, and technology has gotten to the point where it is really good, and you're able to control a lot of this, that you are able to portray your authenticity sometimes better than if it wasn't there. And so as we're delving down to this, that's one of the things that when I'm sitting down across from doing a one-on-one coaching with someone, I use the word process and systems all the time, and the systems are there because you intentionally set them up. When you sit there and you plan it and you put it out, and why is it there? Let's just talk about our sphere of influence. Take the pulling or lead generation piece out of it for a second. I've got a core group of people that I want to market to, and I want them to first know that I know them, I like them, and that I care about them, and they're important to me. Well, if you have 300 people that you literally love and you know them really well, you can't manage to let them know you love them and you care about them by just happenstance. You have to have the systems in place to put those triggers in point to let them know that. So it's important that even if you're not in this generating of lead stuff where you're trying to pull cold stuff out. This is also your sphere. It's everything, and putting those things in place and doing it in a way that enhances or showcases your authenticity is phenomenal. And it's a phenomenal way. Once you do it, you're able to set it up, and then guess what you get back in phenomenal, massive portions is your time. You get so much time back when you set up those systems.
We do one-on-one coaching. One of our first things I do, and agents really cringe when I start doing it, but we pull up their database, we do an extract of it, and then we look and see when was the last time they touched the people. And it's kind of scary because we just did one the other day. The agent had been in business almost 17 years. They thought they had everything down. They thought their business was running huge. And we went through, and I just noted, and we went through, I think we pulled out like 300 people that had not been touched in over 2 years. And I was like, okay, let's implement. So we took those 300 people, we set up a system to start touching just them specifically, all right, over the next 30 days. And then he was blown away when there's like 8 or 9 of those people started clicking on properties from those emails we're sending them. And these are 300 people that he hadn't touched in years. And now he ended up picking up 2 clients in 30 days just from a retouch. And I think, it's just hard, right? It's hard to keep continually reaching out to these people all the time unless there is a system in place. And guys, with AI now, I mean, it's unbelievable. If you take the time to set it up right, like for example, the other day I helped an agent. We imported, I think it was like 150 emails that he had wrote. We input those into an AI program, and now before he writes an email, it prompts him, "Do you want AI to look at this and see if we can help you with it?" And so it literally took all those emails he wrote in the past, and now he's putting his own voice to it. And these emails, he's loving it. He said these emails are better than I could ever write. and in my voice.
In his voice.
And
Yeah.
so I thought that was the coolest thing ever. These guys are starting to understand that small pieces will make huge differences in the long run. And he told me he will get anywhere from an hour to 2 hours back of his day just because of that. These email programs that help him write these emails. And I'm like, okay, no brainer, right?
No doubt. And for those that are like, okay, yeah, but I really don't want to, I don't want to go through the trouble of doing this. Well, here's the deal, guys. If you're in the business and you have this phenomenal business that you've built, everybody that you talk to has a phenomenal sphere of influence play, right? Everybody, their sphere of influence play is on point. Nobody needs help at all because everybody is dialed in. That's always the case when I'm sitting down.
Always.
And the answer is, guys, you're not dialed in. As much as you think you're dialed in, you're not dialed in. Even those that are dialed in aren't dialed in enough, because understand there are billions and billions of dollars being poured into marketing, strategic placement of ads by these big tech bundles. I mean, tech platforms, Zillow, Realtor.com, you name it. There's CoStar. There's a ton of them out there that are spending billions of dollars to get your clients' eyeballs to go to their site, to then be able to allow them to hit the easy button, because consumers want to hit an easy button. We're lazy.
So true.
I'm lazy. I hit the easy button a lot. And I know that for those that are listening right now have had situations where that they have someone that they have sold 2, 3, 4 houses for, find out that that person has gone and bought a house and sold a house with someone else. Why? Because someone put an easy button in front of their face. Yep. And they didn't think, oh, I remember I'm supposed to call, Joe. He's supposed to be helping me out. Because Joe didn't have a conversation with him and didn't touch this person, didn't have any sort of interaction with them in the last 6 months. They forgot about Joe in a short period of time.
It is. I hear this all the time. I can't remember who said it first, but it is, as a real estate agent. Actually, as a consumer, it's not their job to remember what you do every day.
Nope.
It's not their job. It's your job to remind them every single week or every single month that you're an amazing real estate agent. You're going to help them if when they're in need of a real estate agent. And we have to stay consistent, because it's about timing. That's really what it's about. And so if Zillow hits them at the right time before we hit them,
yep.
What can you do, right?
Nothing. Nothing. And here's the biggest thing, and this is a pet peeve of mine. Agents want to blame somebody else. They want to blame the person. They want to blame the person that bought a house. They love their house. They bought a house. They're happy. Quit blaming them. You didn't get paid. You didn't help them. You weren't able to help guide them, and you probably could have guided them in a better way. Who knows? Maybe not. We don't know. But ultimately, you have to introspectively pull that mirror up and look at it and say, maybe it was my fault. Maybe I didn't do something. Maybe I didn't have the right tools and stuff set up.
In that same realm, though, here's the deal. As agents, we think everybody needs to live in this real estate world, right?
Yep.
And we have to get out of that whole concept. And we have to actually start giving people resources that they'll actually like. I'll give you an example. Like every Thursday, I've got this database, and I tell agents to do this as well, but get a database and mark everybody in your database that has kids. All right. Let's say that you have a database of 15,000. Let's say 1,000 of them have kids, but
Yep.
Just go through and tag them all as has kids. One of the game-changing strategy I just released with another brokerage is every Thursday, send an email to all the people that has kids in your database to family-friendly events for the weekend. This is every Thursday you send this email out. And honestly, you just do a Google search real quick and say, hey, what family-friendly events are happening this weekend? You copy and paste that into an email. You send it out. And every week, I promise you're going to get anywhere from 20 to 50 people replying, thank you so much. I didn't realize this movie's coming out. Thank you so much. I didn't realize they're having this event at the park. Thank you so much. I didn't realize that they're having this, whatever's happening. And now you not only became a real estate agent, you became a resource to them. Someone they're going to remember when they're ready to buy real estate, even though you didn't put any real estate in the email. You have to get personal with people, guys. And so once you do that, that's going to basically triple your business in the first couple of years when people realize you actually care about them. And sending them a home maintenance tip doesn't tell them you care about them.
Bingo.
So find ways to show people care. If you and I tell agents all the time, before you hit that send button on that 2,000 person email blast, would you like to receive this email? Think about it before you hit send. And if you would put this in your junk folder, don't send it.
Yep. Bingo. Biggest thing that you hit right there is when they receive it, how do they feel? Do they feel like you care about them? Because that's why you put these systems. That's why you're reaching out to them. I know you're reaching out to them because you're running a business, and the business is ultimately at the backside of this, which is a closing. But there's so much that happens in the in between that is about showing them that you care, you're knowledgeable,
So good.
that you are that you're there for them, that you have resources that they don't have. That is going to make their life easier. Because if you can continually make their life easier over time, they're going to have no choice but to come back and use you because you're going to make their life easier and they're going to trust you that you're going to take care of their transaction when it comes to that point. But you have to do it all along the way. And it can't happen without a system. It can't happen without a plan. It can't happen without having a little bit of forethought. And those that have a business that is 0 years old, they just entered the business, implement this right now. This is the way that you need to do business. Those that have a 25-year-old business that they have never done this, they've only done it this certain way. Guess what? Today you can implement some of these things. You can pick up the phone and start down this path, and you will immediately receive results. You will see results because guess what? Those people do like you. They just forgot about you. And all it takes is a little bit of effort, and guess what? You're going to capture more business. You've got to. Jeremy has so much knowledge and so much. Again, this was not is a how to XYZ of how to do things. More along the lines of a resource. Jeremy is phenomenal. I wish I had some more time to kind of pick your brain and kind of dig into the AI stuff because while I've logged into ChatGPT and I've done a little bit of Gemini, but I really don't know it very well. I would love to figure that stuff out, but understand, guys, you don't have to know it all. You just have to know where to go to get the resources and someone that knows your business and can help you implement them to showcase yourself. For those that don't know how to get a hold of Jeremy, I endorse him. I think he does a phenomenal job. We will be putting up his contact and social information in our posts. Any final thoughts, Jeremy, before we tap out for the day?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just let's babysit this thing, right? As an agent, realize there's small things you can do to improve your business, and I think everybody would agree we all want to improve our businesses. Even if you have a very successful business, you still want to improve it. And so I just know there's resources out there. There's people out there that really do care that want to help you get to your next level. Just don't shy away from it. Reach out. Start reaching to people like you, Mark. Start reaching out to people that really do care, that want to see your business grow. There's people rooting you on you don't even know about. And so, just take baby steps, small implementation plans, systems and process to try to get some little more consistency in your business. And obviously reach out to me if I can help in any way I possibly can. Thank you guys so much, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeremy. And guys, we will see you next time.